President, the Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces, he made an inspection visit to the military academy. The President was accompanied by Minister of Defense, the General Commander of the Armed Forces, Lieutenant General Mohammed Zaki, and Lieutenant General Osama Askar, the Army Chief of Staff, and a number of the Army commanders. The President witnessed a number of activities and trainings of the cadets implemented by them during their fitness lineup, and he hailed their distinguished performance and level and their fitness as well as their self-confidence. Peace be upon you all. I'm very happy to meet you today and to have this dialogue with you. I know that the final tests and examinations of the Academy already finished. Also, I imagine that we are now getting ready for two things at a time: to graduate more batches and from the military academies in general, and also to receive new batches of new cadets. In fact, with following up with the military commanders of the armed forces and the academy, I make sure that you are all okay, and also to meet you and to have this dialogue with you. Also, daily, I really laud and appreciate the efforts exerted by the commanders and made also by the academy commanders in a very critical period of time. Every day we are developing, and I'd like to say here, we should be all the time improving ourselves. This is how it should go, and we are not going to stop in a certain situation. We are going to develop for a while, and then we are going to go forward, and we are going to move on. And here I should say that we all the time should improve ourselves. Here I'm speaking not only about the fresh graduates or the newcomers. This should be very clear. We are living in continuous improvement. This is how it should go. It's very important here to tell you that we should not worry about ourselves. I was in a saloon a few days ago. Something which I assure you, we are not going to stop work. And as I said there, and I'm going to continue saying that, we are continuing to work on every part of Egypt's land. And what about the crisis which whole people are worrying about? We already witnessed a lot of crises here in Egypt, and with work, with resilience, with determination, we passed over all these crises. And the crisis, or the economic crisis which I'm talking about, which we are living or suffering from for such a long time, we were not the reasons, we were not causing it. This is global circumstances, whether it was COVID-19, which had this lockdown on the whole world, and we are connected to this a way or another, or the Russian-Ukrainian crisis and its negative impacts on the prices. It's very important. What really matters that despite all these crises and the hiking prices of basic commodities, even with efforts exerted, maybe you witnessed, or you are going to witness in few months, that we are going to put on Egypt map very huge, very expanded agricultural or cultivated lands, whether in Sharq al-Awaynat, in the Delta or Otoshka. We are speaking about, and in Sinai too, more than 3 million fedans, in addition to Arif al-Masri or Egypt countryside. This is a lot of work, efforts exerted to have this agricultural production, unprecedented agricultural production. But even with that, are we going to be in need to import basic commodities as grains and food oil? Yes. With big quantities, yes, with huge quantities. So at least we're speaking about 18 or 19 or 20 tons of grains. This is only per year in Egypt. Even if we produce half of this amount, we should import, or we are in need to import the other half from abroad. For all those, for all the people, this is why the prices are hiking. And here I should say that all what we're talking about, we import with the hard currency, and it's sold with the local currency, so we should afford more hard currency. We are speaking about very huge numbers. It's not only about the huge numbers, but also the circumstances, the global circumstances which are affecting the whole world. But are we in our place? Are we stopped? No, this is not the case. We are continuing to work. Is there a crisis in these commodities? No, we do have a stock from 5 to 6 months of reserves of these basic commodities, so we do have the chance to face any circumstances, any crisis. And here also we do speak about fuel. 10 million cars they are moving all over Egypt. We also need to afford fuel for all these cars. And we import big part of this. Also the power stations or the electricity stations. What we need per day, 18,000 tons of fuel for the power stations in the circumstances, in these high temperatures, which we all went through in the past few days, and it's going to continue for a while. 500,000 tons of fuel per month, equaling approximately $300 to $350 million, in addition to the gas. God Almighty blessed us with producing, or with the production of gas, which it's really fulfilling a big part of our needs of natural gas. If this was not the case, it was going to be a big crisis for all of us. Thank God. I just wanted to make you feel okay, not to worry. Maybe the prices are increasing. Of course, we do appreciate this, and the government is working hard on several measures to alleviate those burdens. What about our region and the whole world? Egypt has stances regarding its foreign affairs policy to be a source of stability. It's not only me who wanted to manage the foreign affairs this way, but this is the way Egypt is balanced regarding its foreign affairs. We are not going to interfere into the internal affairs of others, but we are going to be having very positive impact, a very positive role in the regional conflicts, our brothers in Libya, in Sudan. Of course, these crises, they do have their negative impacts on us, but we are trying to have a positive role. And maybe you were following up the Sudan's Neighbor States Conference, which was held here in Egypt, with full coordination among the Sudan's neighbors to find a peaceful settlement or peaceful solution for Sudan, to our brother there, and to regain stability and security in Sudan in the very short coming period. This is a summary of the situation. And I'm always saying it's not because I am here, it's because you were here. And before all of us, first, it's God Almighty. And when we say God is here, God watches us. God is, and we are very much keen to work hard in all fields, in all sectors, despite all the very hard and difficult crises, and we are going to continue this way. Regarding the economic crisis, we are going to work hard to find radical solutions for them with a very ambitious plan regarding the economic file industry, also production components and requirements, and to decrease the imports, to find solutions and to find alternatives, to have local production here in Egypt to cover all these production requirements, what we need in a daily basis. If we say that we need annually to cover the imports, whether from the full products or different requirements in the industrial field or the medications, the very basic needs, which we cannot, which we will never be able to say that they are essential, we are speaking about a very huge number. Whenever this huge number we cannot afford with work and with exporting, with affording many alternatives inside Egypt, then we are going to continue suffering. I'm speaking that frank and that clear. We should take this into consideration, and with the support of God, we should pass over that. And when I'm talking about agricultural production of 3 to 4 million fathans, this is a very huge number. To decrease the amount of imports, particularly with the food commodities, whatever is our agricultural production, which I'm modestly saying that in just a year from now, we are going to enter on the Sinai, for example, or in Delta, in Toshka, in Sharq al-Uwaynat. We are talking about millions of fathans, and also there are other parts in Bani Suwaif, in El Minya, in Komombo, all these areas in Upper Egypt. Then many would say that when you're talking about all these numbers, we still are in need. Yes, we are in need. We are now 105 million in addition to 9 million guests. I'm not going to talk that much. I'm very happy with what I hear, what I see. May God bless you. And I'm going to continue or to repeat that the military's role is not only to qualify its cadets or students, but also it has another positive role. Here I assure this role in qualifying many other cadres to work in all state institutions, different sectors. All those who are going to shoulder this opportunity, they should be very honest, qualified, sincere, loyal. We want to have a share in qualifying all these cadets for 6 months, for example, and then we are going to see the results, the tangible results. What about this path? Is it going to realize what we target, what we aim for? Or we should have some amendments or to add something. And for all the those who are going to graduate, I congratulate them, and most welcome to the newcomers. I thank you very much. May God bless you, wish you success, prosperity. God protect you, God protect Egypt. Peace be upon you all. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi also inspected the training fields, the equestrian field. The president made sure that all of the civil training sessions are performed on the highest performance and quality. Good morning. I wanted to speak with you a while, and also I want to listen to you. I want to listen to you, meaning I want to have comments, point of view, suggestion, you name it. We are here for such a period of time, and of course you see the program, you lived this program, and sure you do have a vision and evaluation. So I want to listen to you. Hanem Basyuni, one of the cadres. The program is more than perfect, and I'd like to thank you for launching this program. And we do have now a disciplined biological hour, healthy food, balanced healthy food. As teachers, we do enjoy this self-commitment, but the self-commitment with times we learned time management. Also, we received a number of diversified visits. We benefited a lot from this program, and I'd like also to thank all those behind the program. Also, one of the cadres, I'd like also to have a suggestion, if you permit me, sir. Regarding social media and national security, and our children are all the time monitoring or living on social media. We'd like to have the technical schools in summers to receive our children to be as training centers for our children during the summer. Of course, they are going to have such a wonderful production. In the very same schools, we can have some exhibitions to sell these products, in addition to including universities in this program, just to make our children occupied with such beneficial programs rather than being all the time on social media. I really thank you for this suggestion, and we can study this suggestion and to see to what extent it's practical, and we can implement this on the ground. Of course, there are many details. So when you study them together, you are going to find many results in these schools or in the summer vacations, in the activities already made. So when we do models 2 or 3 in different governorates, particularly in the technical schools, and to see the results, if we see the results are successful or we can improve them in a way to reach this success, then we are going to make it or to distribute it all over Egypt. But tell you what, regarding social media, it's not only about the school. It's the school and the community, the family, the homes. It's not only about Egypt, but it's something which is prevailing all over the world. So to organize it, to take the good or the positive side of the coin, and to not to be harmed. Another cadre or another cadet, I'm very much proud to meet you, sir. In my humble opinion, you put us on the very right path for education in Egypt. I'd like to tell you something. When we thought about this, as Mrs. Ibsam said, regarding the impacts of social media, there are many other impacts on our communities and all over the world and here in Egypt. And we did not know how to deal with them. So we thought about this idea. Now, if we had given the chance in a specific period of time to give you a very concentrated dose of everything, For example, those who are introducing the educational service, how we can qualify or prepare ourselves as schools and teachers. Here, I'm speaking also about the principals. The rest of the experiment, it's going to be with a new group, taking the very same steps. They are not here, but the new batch of the teachers, this is the very first experiment to bring the principals or the school managers who are working in the educational field to just give them a very concentrated dose. We do not, of course, interfere into the technical aspect. Regarding the technical aspect, the Ministry of Education is the one responsible for it. But here, to spend 6 hours and to add new batches, to enjoy new culture, I really aspire that all those here, it's not only you, but others not in the educational field, they are going to continue on the right path. And another cut from the diplomatic mission. I'd like to ask you something about our foreign relations. What about if Egypt included or joined the BRICS? How we can manage our relationship or our friendly relations with our allies, particularly the United States? I'm going to tell you something. If you are following, and sure you are, that our practices during the past few years, a way or another, we made this kind of balance between the East and the West. And also, if you followed up my speech in Africa and in Russia, I said, do not take us into these competition, whether between the East and the West. We do have good relations with the United States and the West, and we do have good relations with the East. So if God supports us to continue with this balanced behavior or this balanced affairs, so we will be able, with the help of God, to continue and to join this economic BRICS, and in addition to other economic groups, with our good relations with the West, of course. I tell you what, our problem in Egypt, it's an economic problem. And if we can, as people and as a state, to overcome this crisis and to have a strong economic stance, this is going to help us a lot to manage a better foreign policy. Thank you very much for this initiative, sir, and we hope that we are not going to be only 1,000 teachers. We want to be more and more distributed all over Egypt, and I do have a suggestion to have a partnership among the technical and commercial schools. Would like to have those students to be responsible for the maintenance of the schools, and of course I would thank you once again for this initiative. I'd like to add to what you're saying. Since you do have some ideas or some suggestions, I'd like you to have work groups to study every idea and to have a final vision for this suggestion. Send it to me, and I'm going to take care of all these suggestions, because as a state, we all the time are in need for innovative ideas and to have their positive impacts on our life in general. Of course, I'm very happy being with you here. You are the start of a very good, positive experience. Tell you what, every effort you exert here to have a kid, a child, who is going to be that successful, whether scientifically, religiously, or regarding his value, this is something which is very valuable and going to be rewarded by God Almighty. President Abdel Fattah Sisi also met with the cadets of the military academy, and he listened to their visions and their points of view. In the name of God, most merciful, most compassionate, I'd like first to salute all of you, my respect, my admiration. Also, I congratulate all of you. You are the youth. You do have long life in front of you. May God Almighty give you prosperity, welfare, and good health. Here in the military academy, we were very much keen that all who are here in all sectors, to introduce to them the best we have in everything, in every aspect. You are very much qualified. You lived such a period of time and you benefited from every minute in this period of time. So, are you ready for your tomorrow? The answer is yes. It's not just to make you feel happy or to raise your stamina. It's a fact. And all our efforts, all our visits, the aim behind them to meet with you, the selection, to qualify you, to do it in a very serious manner. All the educational programs are very much modernized and developed. We wanted to be that positive and to share in building your balanced character. May God bless you, and of course, congratulations. And in your graduation ceremony, God willing, we are going to be with you and to enjoy these moments with you and with your families.
احنا يمكن فينا كتير كان بيعمل ممارسات غير مقصودة وأهداف قصيرة المدى.
Many of us, we were behaving in a random manner or to have short-term goals. But when we came here and we studied a lot of subjects and also implementation on the ground, whether it's self-restraint, it's a very strict timings. But the word capability, for example, it means that I can do something. It's not I can do, it's efforts, it's teamwork, it's the economy, it's investment, it's alternatives, it's a study for yesterday, for today, and tomorrow, for the crises we can face. It's not only being a leader, it's not only just to give orders, it's to be an inspiring manager. It's of course, there are positive and negative impacts, but still, we should be an example. We should be such good examples to be a good leader. From a place to the other, this is it. It's to activate all efforts. It's to do it on the ground, to implement what we have studied, and to fill this gap. And we can also find alternatives. This is the way to be a leader, to be from A to Z with the team and to follow it up, to benefit from all the experiences of those who came before, and also to amend all the mistakes, to have this ability to give your teamwork everything he or she needs, whether it's on the sports activities or the technical activities, all how to recycle, how to make the relation between the one and the environment a very good one, and also to have the impact on the even family relations. This is exactly what I wanted to say, how I can respect the seniors and then he is going to imitate me. Because I should be an example, and this is how to be a good leader. I really benefited from all the contents and from the implementations on the ground and of the capabilities of the institutions. In a very short period of time, we can do miracles. This has added a lot to us, so we are not that far, sir. We are going to continue with our good work. What you have said, Iman, made me very happy. This is the spirit you have. Thank God. Inshallah, this is going to be reflected on the programs which you are going to work with, what you are going to do. If you are going to implement that on the ground in your schools, you are going to find your teammates and their daughters or sons. You are going to find great support and appreciation, which is going to urge you to do more and more. This is going to be you are going to endure such a happy day, and you are going to turn home with very positive energy. I do have a suggestion to have an electronic platform in cooperation with the Ministry of Sports and the Ministry of Education for the best interest of the sports students, which is going to enable them to have their examinations online in a way that coincides with the championships that they are going to participate in. This is an aspect or a file which we are going to study together.
طالب مقاتل محمد عيسى احمد الدريني دوره رقم 1 تربيه وتعليم. تمام يا فندم. انا بستاذن سيادتك في اطلاق مبادره.
I do have a suggestion for an initiative between the media and the Ministry of Education to produce many documentaries to instill the values of the Egyptian values and principles. I really thank you very much for this suggestion. Whether media or school, each has their own role and duties, whether it's for the religious men in mosque or in church, speaking about ethics, about manners. Also, regarding the Mediterranean Circle in the foreign affairs, there were a lot of initiatives like the one of the Med Gas Initiative, and to extend the electricity lines between us and other countries like Greece and Cyprus. What's the vision of the state building on these initiatives to boost our relations with the North Mediterranean countries? Maybe you already answered yourself when you are just introducing your suggestion or your evaluation. The aim of all these initiatives was first to enable Egypt to be an energy hub, especially for gas, also for renewable energy and green hydrogen. Also, the electricity connection between us and Greece. We are working on that not only with Greece, but with Greece and with Italy to have this electricity connection, and the liquefied gas in Komarut. We do have a station. All the gas we export it to all the countries in need of this gas. But do we have a chance for more cooperation? Yes, it's green hydrogen. This is the opportunity of cooperation. We do have vast lands to produce solar energy and wind energy, and to transfer hydrogen or green hydrogen to Europe or to all of the countries who are in need for that. This is the future which Egypt can put its name in. We are on the right path in this field. I was sent to Britain for the Royal Academy and for a year, and when I returned back I visited the new military academy, and I found that they are very much identical. And regarding the nutrition, the sports activities, I did not find that in Britain. Also, I knew that every student is going to have a cabin with all his requirements and tools. This is very much close of what I lived in Britain. This is a very successful way. Also, when I saw that in the new academy, I felt that proud, and I thank you very much for everything. Welcome back, Mahmoud. I wish you the best of luck. I wish you success. I will tell you something. Anything we are going to establish, we use to benefit from the others' experiences, and also the latest technologies and development. Also, we already We already were very much keen to develop the infrastructure, all the requirements, which would make it easier for the education service. Now, the most important part of the story is the human being. If we do not care about the human being, and if we do not deal in a good manner or to have the correct selection, can we implement full awareness program to change the citizen behavior regarding the public properties, to amend the behavior? Is it possible? Yes, everything is possible. Are you an engineer? Yes, sir. Everything is possible. Among the things which can change the common sense and their behavior, it's the quality of the means of transportation. If there is such a beautiful station or a beautiful metro, then we can implement this on the ground this way. Are you going to compare the metro or the train which is found now and which was found before in 5 or 10 years? You would know well that we renovate everything, every station. 2 trillion Egyptian pounds were allocated to the Ministry of Transportation. We followed the tripartite summit in the New Alamein city with the Jordanian monarch and the Palestinian leader to discuss the Palestinian cause. This was in the frame of implementing many procedures just to revive the Palestinian cause. This was a part of the exerted efforts of Egypt, Jordan, and Palestine to reassure the legitimate rights of the Palestinian people to have their independent Palestinian states on the border of 1967, to find a peaceful solution to this crisis, the two-state solution, also, and to afford peace and security to all parts. Thank you very much, sir, for visiting us in the military academy. Before moving to the graduation ceremony, and I promise that it's going to be such a good start for the new military academy. Congratulations, congratulations to all of you. I wish you all good prosperity and welfare. Take care of yourselves, and inshallah you're going to have a very big role in the very critical period we are living in Egypt. Don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry. Egypt is safe and secure. Why? Because God is there.
Be the first to know. The news live at the site of the event. Information on events as they are happening. If it's breaking news, it's Nile TV.